All right. So I'm making watching a YouTube, which is crazy. It's like, um, yeah, being inside in a dream kind of thing with the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Can't remember what that was called, but whatever. All right. So I'm just watching Clone Man right now. I like to watch him a lot. In terms of team strategy, um, things are a little different when you get to top 500 of kind of where people are going to be set up, how they play. It's definitely different than gold and platinum. So right now, I'm not focused on heavily on the strategy, but I love to watch how he moves with his shield. You notice he bounces a lot. That's the first thing I want to point out. Because Reinhart has a lot of armor. He can take a lot of damage without a shield. And it's something that can be healed up and something that will just regenerate. So taking even 100 damage of from a lot of heroes who don't have a lot of high armor penetration, you want to weigh that because you don't want your shield to break. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you don't want your shield also to be too low because you never know when you need it. All right, next, even right here, I like what's going on right here, so I'm going to talk about this. I mean, you can see how he's creating space. And, when you're a beginner Reinhardt, the first mistake. All right, we're going to watch an ad here. Give me a time to talk a second here. The first mistake, obviously, is charging into stupid-ass areas. Charging into the enemy team. You got to have a real plan, a real escape plan, and a real coordinated attack if you're going to do something like that. Anyway, so you see how his job is to create space. Right now it's going not perfect, but he's trying right here. Oh, there it goes. But anyway, he's creating space, and a lot of beginner players you'll see have their shield up a lot more than players once they get good. Once you're close, there's two times. There's times where you're kind of more on defense. You're guarding a choke, and you know that really you're just holding a spot. Then you can work on your shield. Just swing your hammer if people get close. It makes them back up, gives you more room. But in something like this, Reinhardt's got to not he has got to keep the space for his DPS. He doesn't want, you don't want your DPS crowded back there, but he's got to make space. He's got to create it. And so he's got to stay in front of his, but he's got to kind of scout almost. And you'll see the most effective way is, the shield kind of being more for himself when he goes in. And then the other part is just it's more the hammer. That's what's creating the space. People are backing up. The other thing it does is when you push in, even if it's not a payload fight where you're moving forward, and you need to be creating the space, even if it's kind of a fight at over a point or something like that, you have to create more space for your DPS. But you got to also remember you're taking away space from their DPS. And the big concept of space is that, if you picture yourself and your Hanzo and your Reinhardt and Hanzo and your soldier and your Junkrat, you don't want to be fighting three people from three different directions because they're so close that some of them are on your left, some of them are on your right. You want to keep everything in front of you, and it keeps you safe, and it keeps the kills coming, and you can select your targets. So you want to think, I'm a tank, I want to protect my team. But at the same time, when you're a Reinhardt, you also want to be putting the enemy uncomfortably where they don't want to be, taking away their space. So your team is closer, but still has the same direction where they're getting kind of overwhelmed. Anyway, that's kind of it. Just wanted to kind of talk about those points. Space is just super important, and Reinhardt's a really complex character in terms of strategy. He's so easy in terms of mechanics. But the other real quick things about Reinhardt is how fast his ult charges. It's extremely fast. So that's what your fire burst is for. Fire that every chance you get. He's got his fire burst. He fires it. Gets his fire burst. Watch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope, he's fighting someone, but he's going to come back out. He's going to fire his fire burst. There it is again. It's just he never stops, and the reason is look at his ult in 3 fire bursts. Really, you know, I guess he was hitting a couple people, but that's where he gets a lot of his ult power from. And then that's also, you know, Reinhardt's can swing the tide with his ult, so his ult's super important. Yeah. Anything else I can think of? You know, his charge, there was a gravity there, that's why he went in, but his charge it's a very, very awesome tool, but it's also a very dangerous tool and can also quickly cost you the fight. And of course, we see noobs do it all the time. I mean, it's just, you see them just run in, charge, everyone turns around, kills them. Then they just respawn, run in, charge, everyone kills them. So that's about it. I think we can talk more about Reinhardt, but I did want to get that video up just because I know there's a lot of people who kind of want to play Reinhardt, and it's really more complex than it looks, I think. And it's very about the theory, more theory than just the mechanics. Yeah, I play Reinhardt. Okay, but I mean, that's mechanics. His character is extremely complicated. So just wanted to put that up so we can start. Reinhardt's kind of the core of a lot of comps that we're going to be using. So yeah, also notice, you know, I guess one thing, if you want to rewind the video, keep watching Clone Man or whatever, just kind of notice, you know, how his teammates behave with him. You know, you notice there's nobody jumping in front of Reinhardt's shield. You never see them do that in the top 500 as much as you do other players. And it's like, well, I can't see well, or, you know, I don't know. They want to be 1 foot in front of Reinhardt's shield. And the risk is not worth the reward is the thing. I mean, yeah, you might get a little bit clearer shot, but they just got a whole team of clearer shots on you, and you're giving them more advantage than you're taking, or than you're gaining. The risk is way higher than the small reward. So just stay behind Reinhardt and give him a little room too. You notice the only people running up are Brigitte and Zarya. You don't even see the DPS in his screen all the time. I mean, look at that. So only when he turns around do you ever see them. So, all right, that's Reinhardt.